In this video, I'm going to be talking about the macro setup for 2026 and why I expect there to be a massive amount of liquidity entering markets, which is amazing for risk on assets like crypto. But I also highly encourage you to watch a couple of videos that explain why the market has been so down in Q4 of 2025. Starting with this video that explains the Black Swan event on October 10th when we saw the largest liquidation event in crypto history. And I break down all the details that led to that event. The other one is this silent IPO by Jordy Visser. And he talks about a lot of the OG whales that have been selling their bags this year and what we can expect looking forward. With that said, let's dig into the details for 2026 and why I am incredibly bullish from a macro perspective. On December 10th, this is about a week away, guys. There is now a 92% chance that we're going to see a rate cut from the Fed. And looking forward, what can we expect from the Fed? Well, we know Jerome Powell's term is up in May. Trump had this to say in his opening statements in his press release today.
And I guess a potential Fed chair is here too. I don't know. Are we allowed to say that? Potential. He's a respected person, that I can tell you. Thank you, Kevin.
So Kevin Hassett, guys, and I talked about this a little bit the other day. Right now, he is leading the way, 82% chance of him taking over Jerome Powell's job. What does that mean for markets? Well, on one end, Hassett is not only loyal, but he is dovish. So he is all about cutting rates, about QE, about juicing markets. He's willing to put inflation on the back burner, but maybe more importantly for crypto people, he's just not another central banker. He revealed earlier this year he has $1 million worth of Coinbase stock. His stake could be as high as $5 million in total assets, about $7.6 million in crypto. He also earned $50,000 from Coinbase for being in its academic and regulatory advisory council. Guys, talk about a change of pace going from Jerome Powell to Hassett, who's a crypto bull and a dove. Guys, you don't think that we're going to have massive rate cuts and QE? Come on, man. Now, add the fact that we are about to have deregulation in the banking industry. So there's something called the supplemental leverage ratio, or SLR. This was put into place after the global financial crisis back in 2008. The idea was simple. It was basically to limit the amount of leverage banks could take on, tying it to their capital base, regardless of the riskiness of the asset. But there are some problems here. It meant that the treasury bonds they're holding, which a lot of banks hold treasury bonds, which are very safe, it was looked at as the same as a junk loan. They're treated equally. And it disincentivized major Wall Street banks from holding U.S. treasuries, particularly in periods where there's balance sheet stress, like we're seeing right now, right? Where we're seeing a cash crunch. So this change is going to improve market liquidity, push yields lower, right? Create demand for treasuries, which is obviously coordinated. Like if you have more demand for treasuries, it pushes yields lower. Guys, it's estimated by Goldman Sachs that this could unlock between $5.5 and $7.2 trillion in bank balance sheet capacity. Okay, so you following the trend here? The other thing that's worth noting, the stablecoin market with the stablecoin bill. It's expected that, according to Besant, and there's other estimates that actually could be much higher, that we're going to have $2 trillion or more in demand for treasuries from stablecoin issuers because they have to hold treasuries to issue stablecoins. Okay, what does all that mean? The more demand for treasuries, the more yields come down. Okay, so on one end, pushes mortgage rates down. That's fantastic. Pushes lending rates down. You know, businesses now can get access to capital cheaper, allows them to hire. If you remember when quantitative tightening first started, when rates started going up, we saw the fastest rate increase in history. We saw a lot of the tech companies lay off first, right? A lot of these companies that had more speculative verticals, well, they had to cut staff, right? They had to lay people off and focus on their profit centers. Now we're going to start seeing the opposite. We're going to see rates coming down. You know, you think about even the real estate market, real estate agents, you have mortgage lenders, all of those jobs are going to be unlocked again. It's massive for the economy. The bigger thing I would say is, guys, as rates come down, people are going to start to look for risk on investments. because money markets are going to yield far less. Well, right now, there's roughly $7.5 trillion sitting in money markets. Well, when rates come down, guys, that money is going to start getting dispersed. Okay. And right in time for people to start being able to put 401ks into crypto. Okay. You have Bank of America today coming out and saying that they're starting to advise that some of their clients should be putting money into crypto. They're endorsing 1 to 4% allocation of digital assets for clients. So all this money is sitting on the sidelines, and all of these entities are about to start recommending digital assets for their clients. The other thing is the rebate checks from tariffs. So Trump has come out and said that they're going to be issuing these dividends probably middle of next year, sometime summer next year. Why might that be? Well, guys, we have the midterms coming up in about a year. You know they're going to be juicing markets. Okay, you start adding all these things up, right? It makes sense. Okay, so we've got a rate cut coming, right? We've got Hassett coming in, who's pro crypto, who's a dub, who's going to be cutting rates. We're going to have quantitative easing. We have all these indicators that quantitative easing is about to begin. You've got deregulation in the banking industry that's going to unlock capital. You have all these moves. The stablecoin bill, it's going to be pushing yields down. It's going to be forcing people into risk on assets. Then you add the Clarity Act, right? You have Bo Hines, you have Michael Saylor, you have a lot of people that are estimating that the crypto market cap could be growing to between $15 and $20 trillion in the next few years. Things are lining up for 2026 to be absolutely massive.